Calgary's tech sector is breaking records and may break another one this year with some major developments that happened in November. What does this mean for Calgary real estate, and how is it going to impact the industry long term? So the city is moving the needle on one of Calgary's big four priority capital projects worth $285 million. What is it? Where is it? And would this be a good opportunity to buy an income property close to it? All this, plus our advice for sellers, whether you should list your home for sale now or wait until spring, advice for buyers and investors, and I'm gonna share some areas to invest for 2023, and what happened in the Calgary real estate market for November 2022. What's up guys, my name is Felix Chan, realtor with Real Broker, and let's get into it. So we had two Calgary-based tech companies, Simond and Adabotics, that both completed Series C funding. What is it? Why should you care? And how is this going to affect the Calgary real estate market? Well, many startups need funding for their operations, and to grow, they must complete a number of fundraising rounds before getting to the IPO, which is the initial public offering. They usually start with the initial investment known as the seed funding, and then followed by that are other rounds of funding known as Series A, B, and C. Companies that raise Series C funding are considered quite successful and usually use these funds to develop new products, expand into new markets, or even acquire other companies. Simond is a fintech company that builds behavioral analytics to help identify customers having troubles paying bills and suggest payments and alternatives to them. It was founded in 2016 and has since expanded across North America, Latin America, and the United Kingdom, and they just raised $56 million. Adabotics, also founded in 2016, designs and manufactures an automated storage and retrieval system that uses robotic shuttles. They just raised almost $100 million. Adabotics was included on CNBC's Disruptor 50 list and was recently selected to install its storage and retrieval technology at a US Marine Corps 5G smart warehouse in Georgia. According to the Canadian Venture Capital Association, Alberta-based tech firms are now on track to break last year's record of $631 million for funding in the sector. So the news with these two companies, they're not going to propel our real estate market. However, the progress in which our tech sector is moving plays a small piece to the bigger picture. If we continue to break records and companies start moving their headquarters here, it's all going to play into the buzz of Calgary's growing technology industry. It's no secret that tech companies pay well. So if we're looking 5 or 10 years from now, the higher income workers may look for higher priced homes. The areas they could be looking at are, the west side of Calgary, such as Aspen, Springbank, or the inner city, such as Aboya or Bel Air for the executives. And this could also include areas like Martelou or lake communities like Mahogany if they're okay with the longer commute. This also depends if they work remotely, and if so, there are lots of million-dollar homes on 1 or 2 acre lots within an hour drive of the city. So what is this $285 million project in Calgary? Well, this is one of the city's big four priority capital projects, and it is part of the new master plan for the makeover of the Foothills Athletic Park. Calgary just committed $20 million to build a field house. Now, a field house is a building that houses an indoor track and facilities to accommodate a wide variety of sports such as basketball, volleyball, soccer, and football, to name a few. Calgary is actually one of the major cities in Canada that doesn't have a field house. We're going to be doing a video about this in greater detail, so if you don't want to miss it, then make sure you hit subscribe and notification bell so you know when it comes out. The current Foothills Athletic Park is located in the inner city and is surrounded by the University of Calgary, the Foothills and Children's Hospital, and Market Mall, and it lies along 16th Avenue, which is Highway number 1. This development could increase property values as this 5-year makeover will make the area more desirable. University District, which is a new community with all new homes and shops, is a destination in itself, and it is minutes away from the Foothills Athletic Park. By the way, they just opened the new skating rink for winter, and it's got such a cool vibe to it. If you have a family or if you're a couple, go check it out. I promise you will enjoy it. There's fire pits, there's a barbecue station, and you can go and grab some awesome ice cream after the skate. By the way, if you and your family live the active lifestyle, did you know that Calgary has two of the biggest YMCAs in the world? There's one in the north part in Rocky Ridge, and also the other one is in the south in Seaton, and that one's the largest YMCA, and that's deep in the southeast. Okay, so let's go through our advice for buyers, sellers, and investors, and then we'll go through the market statistics. Advice for sellers. Now that we're near the end of the year, a lot of homeowners have been asking us if they should list their property now or wait until spring. That depends on your circumstances, but here are a few reasons why now may be a good time versus later. Number one, less competition. Because of the holidays, there are less listings, meaning there's less competition for you. Number two, there's only serious buyers. Yes, there are less buyers in the market because of the holidays, but they are motivated buyers who need to buy now, not in the spring. Number three, rates and pre-approvals. Now, it's no secret that rates are expected to increase. So for all those buyers who already have a pre-approval and have their rates locked, their pre-approvals would expire before spring. So there is pressure on them to purchase something. Otherwise, they could be facing higher rates and borrowing costs. And number four is price. We have a greater degree of certainty knowing what you could potentially sell for today, but we don't know what the price will be in the spring. So if you need to know what you would need to net from the sale of your home so you can use that equity to buy your new home, then your risk tolerance may be lower. And if so, it may be worth selling now because the truth is we don't know what's gonna happen in the spring. Spring for this year in 2022 actually started in October of 2021 because the market, just like any industry, has its ups and downs. There's always a chance that prices could be lower than today. Not our rule, it's just the way it is. Overall, we're still in a seller's market for all property types, and we have been for the majority of this year. Now, we don't know when it will hit a balanced market, but you know what they say, get it when it's good. So if you need help and you want to leverage our team and our marketing, then please reach out to us in that link below. Advice for buyers. It's still a seller's market for all property types. So we have lower levels of inventory and demand, it's still pretty strong. We think the demand is spilling over from people wanting to move to Alberta and investors buying properties here. We have a lot of you guys reaching out to us to either relocate or invest. So a big shout out to you and our past clients and existing clients. But make sure, guys, that you are pre-approved so you can lock in your rate. It's free to do and it acts as an insurance policy against rising rates. Don't try and time the market. Pull the trigger on something if it hits your must-haves on your list. You can't really be lowballing sellers right now because reasonable buyers will scoop up the property before you do. It is more important now than ever to make sure you have clarity on the property you want to buy. We understand that there are two categories that you guys have the biggest fears and concerns about. The first is knowledge. Now, we understand that you guys need the guidance step by step of the entire home buying process to help you understand the current market, understand the location and amenities within the community and what's around it, as well as the future plans. And having a knowledgeable realtor to provide all that material information is pretty important. And I know that it could feel a little bit overwhelming. And second is the financial aspect of it. We understand that your budget is important, such as, how do you calculate all of the home buying costs? What are the ongoing costs every single month? Some of you guys might be scared of overpaying for a home and or running into unknown costs after you buy. If you have the right real estate partner, then you can move forward on a big decision like this with speed, which in today's market is actually very important. If you feel overwhelmed or you don't know where to start, we make a very simple and easy process for you, so reach out to us in the link below. Advice for investors. With interest rates being so high, the number of cash flowing properties, it is kind of declining. We would encourage investors to look longer term and buy in anticipated future appreciation around big projects. Take a pen and paper out and write this down, guys. The first is the Taza development. Now, this is an $11 billion master plan project spanning over 1,200 acres, and it is the biggest indigenous-led development in North America. Number 2 is University District. This is one of the newest award-winning urban communities in Calgary, and it's in a pretty central location. It's close to Foothills and Children's Hospital, and with all the residential, retail, shopping, and dining, it gives off a vibe that you can't really get anywhere else. Number 3 is buying in communities that have the planned LRT Green Line going. The LRT is Calgary's train system. We'll leave a link of the map in the description below. Now, those aren't all of the areas, but I wanted to share these with you so you can start looking into it. For the inside scoop, give us a shout and we can determine what areas and property type would be best suited for you and your investment objectives. Okay, so let's dig into the statistics. For sales, for detached properties, it was minus 34.3. For semi-detached, minus 37. Townhomes, minus 22. And apartments was up 34.9%. For inventory, detached was up 2.8%, semi-detached down 16.9%, townhome down 42.4%, and apartments were down 37.3%. New listings, detached were down 19.3%, semi-detached down 27.5%, townhomes down 17.4%, and apartments down 17.6%. For pricing, and keep in mind this is for average price, a detached hit $623,000 or was up 6.3%. Semi-detached was $587,000 or up 17.5%. Townhomes were $356,000 or up 10.8%. And for apartments, it was up 2.3% at $292,000. So the next metric is called months of supply, and this is important because months of supply lets us know whether we're in a seller's or buyer's or a balanced market. And what it means is based on the last month's sales, how many months would the market take to absorb all of its existing inventory? Between 2.5 and 4 months is a balanced market. Anything less than 2.5 months is a seller's market. Anything more than 4 is a buyer's market. So for detached, it was at 1.92 months, semi-detached 2.04 months, townhome 1.54 months, and apartments is 1.98 months. So you can see that for all property types, we're in and still in a seller's market. We are looking to hire someone on our LiveInnerCity real estate team. So if you've been a real estate agent for a few years and you can't seem to level up and get past maybe $150,000 a year in income, we would like to speak to you. So we're gonna leave a link in the description below, and please reach out and we're gonna see if it's gonna be the right fit. My name is Felix Chan, realtor and mortgage broker with Real Broker, and we'll see you next time.